All right. We here. How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm just happy to be here. Blessed, man. Happy to do the show with you.
Another beautiful day, another beautiful Saturday, June 7th, 2025. Here we are with Sports Talk with Kamau Felix. Thank you, sir, for another beautiful day and working with me for another wonderful Saturday. All right, as always, what jersey you got there today, sir?
Chicago Cubs.
Okay. Who you got? Ryan Clark?
Dude, this is your man, Javi Baez.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Javi is playing a whole lot better these days. And, of course, he has his former team in town this weekend. So we going with that. Sound good, look good to me. Can you see me in my move? Okay, there we go. I'm going to have to start moving some of this stuff out in the background so I can clear some of this, some more space in my system so I won't be freezing up on us and looking crazy. All right, I got the Instagram side working today. We on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, which is X, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Thank you for joining us on all of those different platforms, everybody. We do really appreciate you. Hey, Ms. Rena, good to see you. Yesterday, we're going to see you again today for the rest of our reunion. Hey, baby, that's my baby right there, Miss Tish right there. And who else we got coming in?
Stop, man.
Zanny Candles Crafts. Hey, Zan Show, how you doing? Thank y'all for joining us this morning for Sports Talk with Kamau Felix. And before we get started, I got an announcement. The announcement is this show is T. Clock it. Bloop. That's for all the young folks. That's for young folks. This show is T. Clock it. Bloop. They know what that means. I don't know what that means, but I'm trying to make sure we get our young crowd involved, and so that they know that we with it. We up with the times now. We just some old fogies. All right. We want to give a shout out to Mick McCabe, sports writer for the Detroit Free Press for many, many years, son of Swami. He's retiring this year. A great friend to the state of Michigan. Not always so much to the city of Detroit, but I'm sorry I have to say it. He wasn't always nice to some of the local teams, even though he's with the Detroit Free Press. But no hate, no shame, just the truth. Congratulations to him on his new career. Knowing him, he probably gonna still be writing, but maybe he'll be nicer in his next role. I don't know, as Grandpa retired. But thanks for him for many years. And the reason why I say it is because many times it was teams we was playing in like big games, and he would say mean stuff about our teams that we were playing. And I'd be like, y'all ain't right, but that's okay. I guess he calls himself having a job to do. So
Mick McCabe. Wow, yeah.
Mick McCabe, he's retired. Yes, sir.
How many years is that?
Ooh, I didn't get the chance to get the number of years.
I remember Mick McCabe when I was in high school.
Yep. I agree. So he's retired, Mr. Mick McCabe. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our first topic of the week, as brought to you by who? The people who vote on our Facebook page every week. The NBA Finals, NBA basketball is here. Thursday night with the big shot, Halliburton knocked down the jumper with 0.3 seconds left in the game. Surprising. OKC. All I can say was, wow. Was I surprised that he made the shot? No. But was I surprised that they were in position to win the game after being down so far in the game? Yes. What were your thoughts on that, sir?
My man can't coach, dog. The OKC head coach, he can't coach. Terrible. Why would you wait till the finals to change the starting lineup? Why? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Why? Why would you change the lineup? Leave everything alone, man. Then when you've been doing this since you've been playing, I've been playing, we all been playing. Basketball is a game of runs. You seen them making a run. Time out.
Yep.
Get recomposed. Let's finish the deal. You went down on 2 possessions and Shea didn't put up 1 shot. Why? Why?
I agree with the first one. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yes. He can't go. I think it's too big of a moment for him. Because why would you? Okay, you've been winning. Y'all had the best record in the NBA. You had the best record in the West. You got the MVP. Why would you change the starting lineup? What made you change the starting lineup? Is Indiana better than Minnesota?
No.
So what made you change the lineup, man? Just to have a story, just to have a storyline or something. I don't know, man. If they lose, it's on the heels of him. That's why they lost. If they lose,
at the end of the day, it's always about matchups. I don't know if he thought the matchup that he was going to be able to get will be better than with the change in the lineup than what he has. At my point, at this point, I'm thinking like you got to meet me. We the one that's done everything we want to do so far. You need to change your lineup to reflect what we doing and stop what we doing.
Correct.
That's what I would have looked at it.
Correct. And then, like I said, you at the last 2 minutes, you went small ball. Why? Why would you go small ball? And you out there against Miles Turner, that's 6'8". You out there against Pionk Salcom, that's 6'8". What you don't got no? You ain't got Chet out there. You ain't got nothing. I mean, Chet is a liability. Mark my words. A lot of people I caught slack for this. Chet is a liability down the stretch, man.
Yeah, defensively.
Yes. That's height. You can't teach height, right? You can coach height, but you can't.
He can't move his feet though.
Right, but yeah, if you don't move your feet, you lose your seat, dog. And
right.
Chet is a liability.
Now that goes back to what I say all the time. You got to play to win, not to lose. They started playing not to lose in those last couple minutes. Correct. When things get tight, they say your sphincter get tight back there. You got to be able to fight through that and say we're gonna play to win, and that's what happened.
Correct.
That's exactly what happened. So game 2 is what, tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon?
8 o'clock.
Tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be another great game, and it's gonna be hopefully Oklahoma City will learn from this. We both picked them to win it in 6. If that still holds up, we're gonna see. Now, if Indiana beats them, is it an upset?
What do you mean? If Indiana beat them tomorrow, or Indiana beats the series?
Wins the series?
Nah, because they was the best out the East. And the best out the East just happened to beat the best out the West.
They weren't the number 1 seed in the East, were they?
No, I said they were the best
coming out of the East.
Coming out the East.
Okay.
So you can't say it's an upset because they came out the East, right? Nobody penciled Indiana for the finals. No. Nobody. No. Including me and you. Nobody. Right?
They weren't even on my radar.
Right. So if they come out the East, they the best that came out the East. We could have said Oklahoma City, the Lakers, Minnesota, but look at what we put. We already had them in the dynamic, right? We didn't have Indiana in the dynamic. We had the Knicks. We had, hell, I would even went the Pistons before Indiana.
Right? Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. The best out the East. No, it wouldn't be an upset, but what and the bigger picture is showing you that these small market teams are making the rise, right? Because usually the NBA Finals is who? Boston, LA, Milwaukee stepped in there a couple of times. Golden State.
Even though Golden State is a small market, but they have a large following within the league because of Steph Curry.
Correct. That's the norm that we're used to seeing. But now it's like we're getting the cartoon before the movie.
Right. Like when we was a kid going to the drive-in, you get the 1 minute, the cartoon, yeah.
Get your concessions and your hot dog and all that. Yeah. I think I only been to the drive-in one time.
For a while, man, ain't nothing like it. We used to go almost every weekend. We would go early, barbecue in the back, and we would go drive in the back. If you go back to the back, everybody back there barbecuing, and in the front you on the swings. So my aunt would take us. My aunt would go to the front. Yeah.
Is this in Detroit?
Yeah, Fort Wyoming.
What year was this?
This was in the 70s and 80s.
Man, I wasn't even here. Was I here?
It's still there, but I'm pretty sure people still do barbecue, but I don't think the swings are there anymore.
Wait,
so if you're in the city, and y'all know what we're talking about, chime in. Fort Wyoming drive-through theater.
So you're taking money from their establishment and barbecuing?
Everybody did it. If you parked in the back, you was barbecuing.
Where you get the grill from?
You bring it with you. You bring the little small grill, you go to Farmer Jack back in the day, get the little small grill that already had the charcoal in it.
And where was I? So you say early, like 75?
At least. That was 3, 4, 5 and doing it, like 78, 79, we would go. Yeah, oh yeah. We would go to Farmer Jack, load up on everything we needed, and take it on in there.
Wow. I done missed some stuff in my childhood.
Yeah, in the very front, it was where you would go go to the slide and go get on the swings, and then you would go back.
The movie started.
Before the movie started, you would go to the movie that starts at like 9:30 when it got dark. But you got there at 6 o'clock to get you a good spot, to barbecue, to eat, to go to the swings, to have fun.
Wow. Well, you know what? Never know what you're going to get on this show. That's why you got to tune in every week. You never know what you're going to get.
Greg, you remember that? Good morning, Greg. He said, what up, gentlemen? Do you remember that as a kid going out to Fort Wyoming, having a good time with the hot dogs and the hamburgers?
Of course, he a Michigan slum. Of course, hey, the University of Misdemeanors. They probably the ones who invented it. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Ain't that the slogan up there?
Speaking of which, the announcement was supposed to be made yesterday on their sanctions, but that, of course, that hasn't come out. But we're gonna see what's gonna happen with that. Of course, Michigan State got something coming up. That's coming. We're gonna talk about that too. But let's see. Maybe let's make sure we wrap up our NBA Finals coverage. I kind of like the pace of the game. It was real free flowing, almost like a college game. Right. To see them out there playing like that, it wasn't normal isolation NBA basketball. There was ball movement. Everybody touched the ball. It was, of course, there's always some isolation when you get certain matchups. But I like the pace and the way the game was played. Okay. So in terms of how they're making changes in the game, this is something that's actually working out for the NBA for what they wanted. So
I kind of, I have to agree because I kind of like the officiating. I like Tony Brothers and I like Scott Foster. They gonna call it fair, but they might let you get away with one, but you're not gonna get away with the other. That's one thing. Long as you let them play and it don't come down to. They need in the offseason, Adam Silver need to sit down with them too, because like they go to a challenge, and then whoever loses a challenge, then they resume playing. It's 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a TV timeout right after that. They need to get in with that. Yeah. That's prolonging the game, man.
And I actually hurt the Pistons when they was going down the stretch that one game. And New York was tired. They went to the replay, and they went to the long TV timeout, and I gave New York a chance to rest and get back and play better at the end of that game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Don't forget to click, share. We are just getting started good here on Saturday, June 7, 2025, here in this great month of June. And we are on Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. And I see us. We got Rena. We got Tish Boo, and that's right. She said, "Clock it." We clock it. That's right. And Zanshia, thank y'all so much for joining us this morning. If you have a comment, make sure you say it, because no matter what platform you're on, it will come through. We will know you're there. We will make sure we acknowledge you, acknowledge your thoughts and feelings. Thank you so much. Don't forget to get the book, Great for This Journey Every Day, by the one Mr. Marcus Holmes. The Wiz that lives in Oz is working behind the scenes, producer supreme, taking care of everything. Let me tell you about Marcus. Lean on in. This young man is an HR guru. Go to his page on TikTok, and he will tell you what you need to do to get a better resume, to answer those star questions. So when you're ready to answer those questions in your interview, you know what to say. You're prepared. You know how to dress. And when you get that job, I didn't say if, I said when. When you get that job, you can negotiate your salary. Make sure you get all of your benefits set up correctly, and all that good stuff. Make sure you talk to that young man. Go right to TikTok. Send him a message. He'll to get you taken care of. Mr. Marcus Holmes. And you can get his book, Great for This Journey Every Day. You see that young man right there, Mr. Tuku right there. That's who you want to go see. Make sure you do that. And once again, this show is T. Clock it. I'm sorry, I had to say that. That's just funny to me. I don't know why that's so funny. That's just so funny to me. All right, once again, we're going to move to our next topic, women's sports. We got a great week of women's sports going on. Last night we had Ion Friday. Los Angeles Sparks are in Dallas taking on the Dallas Wings. The Wings are not doing very right now. They've only won one game, and I'm sad I missed that game. I didn't get a chance to go see it because Detroit's own played in that game, and Atlanta lost to Connecticut 84-76. Today they got 3 games on TV. Vegas and Golden State at 2 o'clock on ABC. Indiana and Chicago at 7 on CBS. And out west, Seattle and Phoenix. The big game on for the nation is Indiana and Chicago. Too bad Caitlin Clark won't be playing. She's still injured, but you'll still have that rivalry. Of course, they're still going to be talking about Angel and Caitlin. You know that's going to be the big storyline no matter what. And no, the Wings still haven't fired their coach. Even they're 1-8 with the worst record in the league. 8-0 with the New York Liberty. Minnesota Lynx 8-0. Phoenix Mercury 6-3. Aces 4-2. Atlanta Dream 5-3. Seattle Storm 4-4. Indiana Fever 3-4. Chicago Sky 2-4. Mystics 3-6. Sparks 3-6. The Valkyries and Golden State 2-5, and the Connecticut Sun are 2-6. All right, so the WNBA season is in full swing. On Tuesday nights, they'll be back on ESPN. Now the finals are here on the men's side, and the Women's College World Series is over for softball. And congratulations to the University of Texas. They won in 3 games over Texas Tech in a decisive win last night, 10-4. A couple home runs by some of their best players. Congratulations to them. And that's right, Coco Gauff is playing for the championship today. In the is it the Australian or is it already in the French? Let's see. Let me check really quickly. I know that they're the golf is not the golf, but tennis is today. Is it Roland Garros? It's the French Open. Yep. And yep, Coco Gauff playing against Sabalenka for the championship today. And I think they're playing right now because it's normally Saturday morning for women and Sunday morning for the men. So be ready to go check them out. And good luck to Miss Coco Gauff as she plays for another championship in her career. Career is going very, very well. She started off a little shaky, not playing. It wasn't that she was playing bad. She forgot her rackets. Did you see that in the very first match? She forgot all her rackets. Someone had to go back to the locker room and get the rackets. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it. Wow. Yeah. She forgot all the
rackets. She walked out with her bag. You know, they had the 2 bags. She walking out. She's smiling. The kids walking out with her. She was like, I left my rackets. And somebody had to run back inside and grab them for her. She left them. I think she left them on the bench in the locker room. So that's I think that's the worst thing she's done so far after that. She's pretty much beat everybody in straight sets. She's very focused right now. So good luck to Miss Coco. Let's see here. We got the Athlos Track League being invested in by Gabby Thomas, Shakari Richardson, and Tara Davis Woodhall. They are joining an ownership group and trying to strengthen that league. And so good luck to them out there. And there's a lot of competition this year for in the World Championships. The so-called winners and leaders of all the other ones, they're getting a good run for their money from the younger kids. And the younger track people saying, hey, because you're there, I'm coming to get you. You came and got somebody. It's time for me to come get you. And then that's what they're trying to do out there. So I love the competition. That's what it's all about. And so you gotta. It's like Janet Jackson. What's one of Janet Jackson's favorite songs? You remember that? What have you done for me lately?
Correctly.
Well, that's what they say. That's what you did in the past. We coming to get you right now. We coming to get you. All right. So a great job in women's sports. Congratulations to the University of Texas. We had an all-Texas final in Oklahoma City for the championship. The young lady signed a big NIL deal for Texas Tech. So she's coming back. They talking about she in the 7 figures for just to play softball. And so congratulations to that young lady. I forget her name. She's the pitcher for Texas Tech. So let me see if I can find her name real quick. Softball pitcher. So that's why we need a sports. Need somebody like a kid that's in college trying to, make some money, or just make one of Najari Kennedy. That's her name, Najari Kennedy. She signed a 7-figure deal to come back. Led them to the championship game. They didn't quite win it, but they were close. They were close. Went down to a 3rd game. The first 2 games were very, very close. Came down to the last couple innings. But that game was over pretty quickly. They jumped on it pretty fast. All right. Where we're going next. We're going to the MLB. The Tigers are home against the Chicago Cubs. They won last night 3-1. And the Cubs are one of the top teams in the National League right now. They definitely pitched all 3 games. She said, I ain't got nothing to do the rest of the summer, so I might as well go ahead and play. That's what she said. That's exactly what she said. I ain't gonna do nothing but rest the rest of the summer. What's up, big brother? How's everything's going good before you down there? Thank you for joining us. Morning, afternoon, definitely. Let's see where we at. Let's see. Let me get back on track. Major League Baseball. The Tigers are 42-23. Once again, with the best record in the Major League Baseball. 4-3 since our last show. They're on a 1-game winning streak. 7-3 over their last 10 with the 3-1 win over the Cubs. The team with the best record in the National League are the New York Metropolitans at 40-24. And in this order, these are the top 6 teams: the Tigers, Yankees, Mets, Cubs, Dodgers, and Phillies. 4 of the top 6 teams are in the National League. The top 2 teams are the Tigers and the Yankees. And I don't think they played each other just yet in this year. But of course, that's going to be a good series. I got a question for you. We've been having all this interleague play. Is it even special anymore? Is it even worth watching? Is interleague play special anymore?
Sure. You got to have an interleague play. That's the whole point of baseball. You got to see who they match up outside the spectrum. Of course, they're going to dominate. Right now, they're dominating the American League. We seen what happened when they played the Dodgers, right? Yeah. Good night, Irene. So we see the interleague play let you know really where you stand.
The reason why I asked that question is because a lot of years there was no interleague play. It was just your league, and all the time you played against each other was in the All-Star game and then in the World Series. So it was really special because it was only like you're only going to play 2 teams in interleague play. And then it went to everybody playing against everybody. So that's why I say, is it really special anymore? Is it really, I love it. I'm a baseball fan. That was like my second love behind soccer. Wanted to be Pele. So I've always liked baseball. I wanted to be my favorite player was Lou Whitaker. Next, my favorite player was Lance Parrish, and sweet Lou Whitaker was always my favorite. Still is to this day. He needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Don't make no sense that he's not in there. But we're gonna have to keep his name alive and keep it going. So Greg, say you and Felix still not going to the game. I think they got an outing for next week. I might have to come back. I might have to sneak in town and go to the game, and I may not be able to sit with them, but I'm gonna be there. We're gonna take some pictures or something.
Yeah, I'll be there next Saturday. I'm going to the who they play, the Reds. I'm over here deciding on which red I'm gonna wear. Am I gonna wear Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan? I was looking at them today, like which one of them I'm gonna put on. Cause I know it won't be a Tiger jersey. I know that.
Yeah, I know it. It's okay. There's no big deal at all. You hear that, Greg? He going to the game next week. If I pop in next week, you gonna roll us to the game. Me and you sit together because I'm pretty sure they got their all seats together. We can take some pictures and put it on the site. We can do the show in the car. Literally do the show in the car.
The thing that's funny is, I want you to remember this now. The same thing that make you laugh is the same thing that make you cry. Last year I went down there, y'all flipped. Y'all went on this streak. I go down there this time, it might go backwards.
So you thinking you're gonna be the reverse?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well,
absolutely.
Okay. We'll see. We shall see. Said the blind man to the dead dog.
Absolutely. All right.
We'll see. So that means I probably do need to go down there to counterbalance your voodoo mojo. If you come down there to bring the bad juju, I got to bring the good juju.
I'm coming down there to bring. I'm really going down there for a hot dog and some nachos and some other things. Get
the peanuts before you get inside. About $1 peanuts in the brown bag before you go inside.
No peanuts, man. Who I look like Milton Berle, man?
Of course, you got to get the peanuts in the brown paper bag before you go in the building. Because if you pay for it inside, it's $12.
It's gonna be like that Dodgers when we went last year with the Dodgers. I'll probably be. It depends on where we sit. They're probably gonna be surrounded by Tigers. I'll probably be the only person in the thing with the Reds.
Well, not necessarily, because Cincinnati's not that far. It's only 5 hours. So
Correct.
and plus their fans travel pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have on the jacket, the area, all decked out in red.
Now, what's the kid that's was his 3rd year now? He's the tall, skinny kid that plays for the Reds who's really good.
Is that De La Cruz? Is
Yes.
that
Ellie De La Cruz? Ellie De La Cruz, yes. Oh yeah. And then you're right. You gotta bring your Cracker Jacks before you go inside because them $12 too.
Cracker Jacks? Man, I ain't heard of Cracker Jacks is with the little prizes.
Yep. They still sell it. You can buy it at the stadium. You get a bag of Cracker Jack, get a bag of peanuts. $12. That's a lot of money.
$24 for yeah, okay.
That's why I say buy them outside before you go inside, or just buy them before you even get there. Go to the dollar store, get some peanuts, some Cracker Jacks before you go. And you can put it in your backpack. They let you bring the water in, and stuff like that ahead of time. There's only so many that you can bring though.
Right.
Go out and be a bleacher creature like we used to do back in the day. All right, let's see what's going on with baseball. Let's see here. I asked a good question. Yes, sir. All right, so we already know your feelings on if they're gonna keep it up, so we're gonna look forward to next week. We're gonna make that as a part of one of the questions. Is will Felix going back down to the stadium reverse the Tigers' fortunes? So that's gonna be one of our questions on our poll for next week. All right, moving forward. We are in the NFL, UFL time. This weekend they have the UFL Conference Championships. And let's see, the Panthers. Let me get the banner up. There we go.
And the Birmingham
Stallions. Yep. Panthers and the Stallions play. And the St. Louis Battlehawks and the DC Defenders. Those games are tomorrow. And it happened. What happened, you say? The one thing I keep saying it shouldn't happen, but we knew it was inevitable. Aaron Rodgers has signed a 1-year deal with the Steelers.
Man, the circus. That's why I text you. When I was like, man, boy, oh boy. And then you see what you responded. You said, bye-bye, Mike Tomlin. This probably is his last year.
Yep.
Because this man is about to mess up your whole locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yep. He is the very definition of divide and conquer. You see, first thing Aaron Glenn was like, no, he's not coming back here. No, he's not coming back.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
He's a good player in his own right, but it's time for him to go somewhere else. He won't be in these greener pastures. He'll be going somewhere else.
So you saying it's time to – so you saying the Steelers shouldn't have never took a chance?
No.
So they should have held on. They should have held on to Russ, or what's his name?
One of them. I'd have kept Fields myself, because at the end of the day, you always want to look towards the future, and Russ still a good player. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
his better days are handing the ball off and throwing the 5-yard out. You don't want to put him pushing the ball 20 yards down the field. That's not his strength anymore.
Right.
But I would have kept Justin Fields. Justin Fields and he's in with the Jets now. He's going to have an opportunity to do very, very well. No. So there it is. Lord, there we go. So okay, Greg. He said, "Man, that fool. I would have signed Lil Felix before him." So you saying the Steelers should have signed Lil Felix before he signed Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers is horrible, man. I didn't even know him in his personal life. I know his personal life is his personal. I didn't even know he dated Dana Patrick. It's the female race car driver.
Yeah.
And she didn't have nothing nice to say.
Well, to me, if Danica Patrick got anything to say, to me, it's considered a source. Danica Patrick, to me, was not always the nicest person in how she treated people. And, she got a lot of hype for she won how many races? One in her whole career in NASCAR. She won a lot more fights because the guys wouldn't fight her. She would jump out the car and swing on people. But, of course, they're not going to fight the lady. That's not a good look. But other than that, I was not – I was a fan of what she represented. I wasn't a fan of who she was as a driver. Let's just put it that way.
You was a fan that she made it and she plateaued over the barrier.
Correct.
Race with me. Okay.
Yeah. That's able to be representative of young ladies with the fact that you can be a NASCAR driver or an open wheel driver or any kind of a driver and against men. I love that. But just like everybody else, once you get there, the standard is to win.
Right.
He didn't fulfill that standard.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So kudos to what? I don't know. I was gonna say kudos to the Steelers, but no, we're not doing that.
I don't know. I guess when you look at it on paper, and like my man commented, it is a circus. But when you look at it on paper, he is better than Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
But that's the point I don't understand with the Ronies. I don't understand. If you brought Mason Rudolph back and you said we brought him back. Okay, we made a mistake. He knows the system. Then why do you let Aaron Rodgers dictate going forward? So obviously that was a lie. You don't have no faith in Mason Rudolph.
Well, of course you always say the right things at the press conference.
Correct, but it's going to play out because we're talking about a 40-year-old quarterback that's coming off an Achilles injury. Mm-hmm. You're in one of the toughest divisions. You got the Ravens.
You in the.
Yeah, you got the Ravens. You got who else over there? Who? The
Browns.
Bengals. Yeah,
and the Bengals.
I think you just signed your name to the list. Yeah, I don't even understand it. I really don't.
So okay, let's answer this question. Before I say that, congratulations to Frank Ragnow on his retirement. He had the knee injuries, and of course that's going to affect the Lions. But I'm gonna swing this back. I'm gonna tie it in. All right. So I said 12-5 for the Lions. I think that's going to be at least a 2-game hit with Ragnow retiring. So that makes them at 10-7. Now here's how I tie this in. Does the Lions or the Steelers have a better record now that Ragnow leaving, or with them adding Aaron Rodgers?
They have the same record. They both finished 10-7. Frank Ragnow. Okay, here we go. Frank Ragnow was a vital part to your offensive line. Mm-hmm. Y'all missing the whole focal point. Your offensive coordinator went out the door. Not only did he go out the door, he went out to your rival.
Mm-hmm.
Your defensive coordinator went out the door. The guys you replaced them with aren't even a shell of the guys you had. Not to mention, did you see the quote Carlton Davis gave? He signed with the Patriots.
That's right. He said that. He said the Patriots was
he wished he would have stayed with Detroit.
Yeah. He said that everybody get away with everything. There's no accountability.
Right.
Yeah, if I saw that.
But we know why you went though, right? Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, look, you got to prepare yourself now before you prepare yourself for the future, right? Because after football, you have to still live your life, right? Barring all them injuries, surgeries, all that. Now, back to piggyback back onto what you asked me, they both gonna go 10-7 because your schedule is worse than Pittsburgh's schedule by far.
Yeah.
You got to go to Lincoln Financial, that's a loss. You got to go to Baltimore, that's a loss. You got to go to Arrowhead, that's a loss. That's 3 right there. I ain't even got to the division yet. So, like I said, 10-7. And your man just had knee surgery.
Yeah. Emerald St. Brown. Yep.
Man.
Yep. They hid that. They hid that
because at the end of the day, you telling me before he signed that contract, he didn't know he needed knee surgery? Sure he did. But
so
let me secure the bag first.
That's why they drafted them receivers.
Right. Once they get their paper, watch how the production goes down. Calvin did the same thing. Everybody, know Calvin did. Yes, he did. Before Calvin got paid, Calvin was going up catching it on 2-3 defenders. Right. Once Calvin got that money, man, all right, I'm going to run this route, but I'm not going to run it precise like I used to. Right. A lot of these players now are starting to look at life after football. I'm having children now. I want to play with my children. I want to do this. You don't think Aaron Donald? Why you think Aaron Donald got out?
Right. Yeah.
Why you think Calvin got out? The smartest one of them all.
Barry.
Dude. If somebody takes Barry's spot, smartest one of them all.
Jim Brown.
Andrew Luck.
Oh, yeah, he was my next.
Andrew Luck was like, I'm taking this and run.
Yeah. Did you see him working out with Stanford in the spring season? He's the CEO essentially of Stanford football. You know, they got the coach, but you know how he was out running the offense. He looked like an old soccer dad. You know how the soccer dad come with the big old beard and everything, hanging out with the kids on the sideline. But he looked so comfortable though. He looked like he was just so happy. He out there handing the ball off. It was so cool to see that. But you wouldn't realize that was really Andrew Luck unless you knew who he was, because everything was all grown out. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. You want to have life after basketball. You don't want to, like I always reference back to this. Earl Campbell, the great Texas running back, the great Houston Oilers running back. Mm-hmm. He can't even sit through a football game for 4 quarters. It's too painful.
Yep.
Man, you gotta have life. If you go back and look when they did the documentary on the Buffalo Bills, them guys look horrible now.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce still look like Bruce,
yeah, but when you see until you see him walk,
yeah,
he looked the same. He still got that build, but when he walked,
yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's a violent sport. Me personally, if I was ever privileged to play, I probably played like I would have played until my body said, "Nah, man." Because I mean, at the end of the day, the Lord God all created us, right? He didn't create us to run into each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like boxing. He didn't create. Man, it's just, man, get your money and get out, man. That's what I tell people. Yeah. Like, I think it's on this hand. I think it's on Calvin's left hand. I think it's this finger. It'll never be straight again.
Yeah, because my finger right here, I broke this one right here. I can't do, you can tell the difference. It's slight, but that's the only bone I ever broke playing football. Even to this day, my knees still go crickety clack, clackety clack when I go to sit down.
You can't go buy a new knee. Can't go buy a new arm. Can't go buy
But at the end of the day, when I do it all again, gladly. I do it all again. Thank you, Mike Battles, for commentating. We do appreciate you, brother. Good to see you, Money. Kenneth Hobby, thank you, sir. Hope I see you guys this afternoon. You're right, big brother. Another Stevie franchise killer, which is Aaron Rodgers. Definitely. We moving forward here. Where we at? Let's see where we at. We got hockey. We moving into our hockey. We got the championship going on. Let's see here. We got Laura Stanley. Laura Stanley is definitely here. And we had a great game last night. Great game last night. Laura Stanley is in effect. It's tied 1-1. The Oilers won the first game in single overtime, 4-3 on a power play goal. And last night, the the Florida Panthers scored in double overtime, scored at the 5-4, and it was a beautiful goal. Both those goals were very, very poetic. And you got to go back and watch them because they put them in slow motion and how they move the puck around. And that's kind of how they see it, because the game is moving, and the players mind the puck is moving slow. But to us, it's like this because that's how we see it, because they do it so much. It moves pretty slow, but it's pretty cool to see that. And we both picked the Oilers to win it. Right now, they 1-1. That series is probably going to go 7. I'm gonna stick with my Oilers to win it all. Even though I do like the Florida Panthers. The uniforms are nice. Of course, old school with the Oilers, but we gonna see. Yeah, Greg said you can get a new knee, but do you want to? Do you really want to go on tonight and get that titanium?
I don't even understand.
You can't get on the plane. You got.
That's what he do. That's what Michigan fans. That's what they tell them. You might not make an NFL player. You might not be an NBA player, but you're going to have a degree from Michigan. Only winners that stay will be champions. Hang on, somebody. Try that down 94, please. I take that down 94. Yeah. I can't wait till these sanctions come out so I can laugh.
You know what's going to happen? That's what's going to happen.
Nah, I think they're going to punish Sharon. I really do. Sharon gonna get what should have went to John, that should have went to Jim Harbaugh. That's why Jim got out. Jim ain't stupid.
Jim got out because they know they was gunning for him.
Right, that's why. That's my
they
point.
Still
So
gonna
now
get
they're gonna make Sharon boat the load.
But I'm gonna tell you, Michigan gonna get a slap on the hand. Michigan State gonna get Ice Cube, an Ice Cube song.
Oh my man, the coach
Tucker.
No, I'm talking about the coach right now, currently.
Yeah, they about to mess him up for real. He about to leave. He
this
gonna leave.
year. If you don't, I ain't even say you ain't gotta have a winning record. If this year you don't go to a bowl, you're done. Yeah, you're out of there.
Yeah. See, to me, I was cool with him until he said we're not having a spring game. Why you not having a spring game? You can go out there. You can script 10 plays and have a spring game. You can to me that makes no sense. You can go 20-20, 20 on offense, 20 on defense, and you ain't got to play all your starters. That makes no sense.
Maybe he trying to get them to miss it, so that way it'll motivate them to appreciate it. Because you don't miss nothing until it's going, right?
No.
I mean, I get
it. You got to look at it from a fan's point of view.
Every tradition needs to be revamped or what is it? Revamped or revisited, right? Mm-hmm. Think about it. They changed the format of the NBA Finals. It used to be 2-2, 1-1. Now it's 2-2, then 2-1, 2-1. So it all everything needs right. Everything needs to be revisited. So with that being said, with the spring game, maybe he was like Lou Holtz used to do. If we're not going to a top tier bowl, we're not going to a bowl. So maybe he's saying, why have a spring game? What is deserving of y'all to have a spring game? You had a losing record last year.
They need as many reps as they can get in front of people so they can get used to a crowd noise. And it's also just as much for your fan base as anybody else as well. Are you afraid to show the fact that y'all ain't got nothing? Or I said we ain't got nothing because I'm not
we don't have nothing.
We don't have nothing.
Aiden Child, the quarterback is trash. He's horrible. Unless he went to a quarterback chamber where he jumped in and came back out as somebody. No, what receiver we have? We don't have a receiver. The running back is.
You went to the voodoo place and they sprinkled the water on him.
The running back is going to probably be by committee. We don't have no. Le'Veon Bell's not coming through them gates. What's my man name that got drafted by Seattle? We don't have nobody like that. We didn't get nobody in the We didn't get nobody in the transfer portal. We don't have nobody. 6-6 is best. Anything over 6-6, I'm happy. If they go 6-6 and they go down to Ford Field and they play in the CarQuest Fort Lane Bowl, okay, that's an improvement. But anything under 6-6,
Detroit Blue Bonnet Bowl.
Anything under 6-6, it's time to start looking. But see, this is the thing. Out with the old, in with the new. Who do you get to replace this guy?
Well, you got a new AD. The new AD always got a new coach.
Well, where he come from? Georgia Tech?
Well, he's at Alabama and at Georgia Tech.
So he gonna go get the rambling wreck? Nah, man. I think that was a bad move.
I don't know who he's gonna bring. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who he would bring, but all I know is you got a new AD. Every new AD got their own coach. So you won't notice, buddy. Plus, with the old AD leaving, the amount of money they have to pay him in the buyout is a lot less. Right. So with Allen leaving, so it's setting up for them to make a move in the next 12 to 18 months, if not sooner. All right, everybody, we coming down the stretch. It's time for one of the best parts of the show. We're gonna take a quick pause for the calls as we jump into stupid sports news. All right, we're going to start off with the young lady down in Florida, I want to say. No, in California. She ran the 400, won the whole thing, ran up in the stands. Her daddy gave her the fire extinguisher. She ran to the side and sprayed her shoes down. And they was like, come here. Guess what? Disqualified. You hear about that?
I think I read on it briefly, but I didn't.
They took her title. And then she had a press conference crying. I was just wanting to celebrate the fact that I was out there and worked hard all season. They took that from me. No, sweetheart, you took that from you. Actions have consequences. Would I have done that? Probably not. But are they well within their right to go ahead and take that title from you because you out there clowning? Yes. You could have saved that on the side. You could have gotten the stands and did that after. You didn't have to do that in the field of play. I'm not against you doing it, but it's a time and a place. The time was right because you won, yes. But was that the place to do it on the infield? No. You go off to the side and celebrate. Just like on the football field. They get people out there, you score a touchdown. You in high school and in college, you can't spike the ball. You're supposed to get the ball to the referee, and you go to the sideline and celebrate. Same thing. It's high school, baby. You a sophomore. You do what? 15, 16 years old. Go celebrate with your peoples. Go with your team. I know track is an individual sport, but I felt bad when I first saw it, but I thought about it. Yeah. Do I agree? Personally, no, I would not have done that. But do I agree with their decision to do so? Yeah. It just didn't make no sense to me. Was it cool? And she was doing it's a track guy that she was paying homage to. I get it, but cost you. What you think, sir?
I think we taking stuff to the norm a little bit too far. She celebrated. That's just like when you go across the stage at a high school graduation. Do they supposed to hold your diploma? No. You celebrating your accomplishment.
Some people do.
I got up for 12 years at 7 o'clock. I went to school from 7 o'clock to 3 o'clock. At the end of the day, I got a diploma that told me, congratulations, Mr. Holmes, on your accomplishment. I can't go across the stage and do the Dougie or nothing. Whatever. Yeah, I'm just like cousin Raymond. Raymond Brown, the baddest man in town. I can't do that.
Well, I'm not, like I said, me personally, I'm not against that. But if those are the rules, you got to adhere to that. Maurice Green, you're right. Maurice Green, that's who it was. She was paying homage to Maurice Green. Said she ran so fast, her shoes was on fire. I get it. I understand the celebration, but you got to understand the time and the place. Read the room. Read the temperature in the room. Is it a hot temperature? Is it a cold temperature? That's all I'm saying. She got 2 more chances to try and win it. She's a sophomore. Hopefully she'll win it again next year. And but you can't complain when they use the rules that you should know.
It's a humbling experience, right?
Very much so.
You grabbed it, you got the gold, you got the championship, and then it was taken from you. Okay, I think that's a little bit extreme. Let the girl celebrate. Because I remember when I was in high school and we graduated, they told us, when we call your name, the graduation was down at Shane Park. We call your name. If you do some type of dance or whatever, we're going to hold your diploma, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So graduation day came. The guy that played up on our basketball team, Jermaine, they called his name. He did some type of dance, but Dr. Oden said something to him, but he still got his diploma. So all what you just said was farce because you didn't give his diploma. I remember that like it was yesterday. It go up here and stay up here. I don't drink and smoke.
You talking like if that's the case, I could have did my dance.
If that was the case, no, because if I ever did something right now, I probably wouldn't even be doing this podcast with you. I'd probably be doing the podcast with you from jail. Because that's 30 years ago. They probably still would have remembered. Trust me. If I would have went out, I would have went out with a bang. They still would be showing what I did right now.
True story. My college graduation. I was you have your big graduation for everybody. You have your college graduation. I was at the College of Education graduation, and I had a bottle of champagne under my sleeve. I was going to go across the stage, pop it, and drink it, and go across. they expressly told us, if we catch you with anything like that, we're going to pull you out and you will never get your diploma. I held that joke in my sleeve. I don't know. Somebody had tipped them off that I had something. They was looking at me the whole time. I'm like this.
You should have called their bluff.
No. I knew better than that. Because you got to go up there, you got to shake with one hand and grab with the other. I don't know how I pulled it off. I tucked it under my shirt or something, but when they couldn't tell, and I went across that stage, boy, I went and sat down. But when I got outside, I popped that joke.
Send all your complaints to Kamau Williams, care of.
That's right. Send them to me. I did that. I was young and very enthusiastic once upon a time. Every now and then this show, every now and then it come back out. But that was me back in the day. I was 22, 23 years old. Like I said, just like a young lady, excited about the opportunity. But you gotta read the room and understand consequences. Acts have consequences. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. All right, let's see what else we got next on the dock for Stupid Sports News. We got Austin Ainge. Who's Austin Ainge? The son of Danny Ainge. He is now the Utah Jazz, the new president of basketball operations. Who's the CEO of the Utah Jazz basketball team? Danny Ainge. So is that nepotism? Would that fall under nepotism? Did he earn that? Did he follow his father's foot, or did his father put him in place?
Father put him in place.
Didn't LeBron do the same thing? Oh my goodness. Is he really qualified? Can he really play? Is he really qualified to be the basketball president of basketball operations? Or is his daddy doing everything for him?
Well, the difference between them two scenarios, you are right. You're not far-fetched from both. The difference is when LeBron hangs it up, Bronny will be unemployed. When Danny Ainge hangs it up, the son just gonna take Danny Ainge's place.
Mm-hmm. But you also got to look at the area too, Utah. You look at the kind of state that Utah is, how conservative it is, and the people that live there and their thoughts, wishes, and beliefs. He will always have a job. He will always have a job. As long as he can go back to his people, and then that's the best way to put it. People might get mad I said that way, but it's the truth. If you know anything about what's going on in Utah and what they do, there's no other way of putting it. He's going to have a job. Let's see. Greg say, no, he's highly qualified. Yeah, right. Nepo, Kenneth Hobby, Big Brother Nep at his finest. Did the boy even play ball? I don't remember him even playing. Maybe he did. Danny, Austin Ainge. Is it Austin Ainge?
Who he playing for? The Circus Knights? I don't know. Got me.
That's true. Did he play for the team that the Harlem Globetrotters beat every time? What's the name?
I have no idea. Mm-hmm.
Last night you texted me about Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson playing one-on-one for $100,000. I got to see some of that highlights. That's the craziest stuff I've ever seen in my life. Lance Stevenson, from the time he blew in the LeBron's ear, he needed to give it up. That was
Yeah, Lance. Lance can't. What Jalen say? Lance can't make him dance. But my man, if you go back and look,
he was actually a good ball player.
No, he wasn't.
I always thought that Lance was a good ball player.
No, he wasn't.
His antics outweighed his ability.
Right. His antics. Right. No, Lance wasn't good. But they was knocking it because Beasley had on the Deion Prime. That ain't no basketball shoe.
When he jumped on him, the way he whipped his butt, he probably could walk. He could have been playing in his socks the way he jumped on Lance Stevenson.
Hey, you know what? Beasley, that's another sad one too.
Yeah.
Waste of talent.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say a waste of talent.
That's a waste of talent.
I would say that his off-the-court demons overshadowed his ability to play. The boy was a clear-cut number one draft, can still play to this day. He probably can still play in the league. However, his off-the-court mental issues and battles that he had prohibited him from being the player that he probably could have been. Plus the fact he liked that sticky icky. And that was before it was illegal. That was when it was illegal in the league. If he was in the league now, smoking that sticky icky, he'll be fine. Right. They still smoked it back then, but they knew he was targeting. It was him, so they targeted him to test him all the time. Right. So if he was in the league now, if he was coming out the way he's smoking, he would still be the number one. He'll still be that guy. But right now, he got to play for the big three and do stuff like that for $100,000. So, shout out to both those guys. That was actually a good game, a good promotional game. A lot of trash talk. We got the inside the NBA closing up shop. Last show was last week, and so congratulations to those guys. Moving to ESPN. How well it would translate? How well do you think it's going to translate on the ESPN?
It's not, because they gonna cut a whole lot of that dialect. All that Shaq saying, telling Charles he'll come and punch him in the face, and all that's about to get canceled. It's like the time when, I don't know if you ever were married with children.
Yeah. Okay,
remember when they gave Kelly her own show?
Oh, yeah.
And remember the first week, the ratings blew out. Then they said, Kelly, we got to put some changes. Mm-hmm. That's what they got. It's over. You're not going to get them same theatrics you got on TNT. That's over with. Because ESPN, who set the dynamic? Stephen A. Smith.
ABC and the Mouse.
Who was the Mouse?
Mickey Mouse. You know, that's all ABC. That's all ESPN. That's the Mouse. That's Orlando. All that's so you gotta have a certain level.
That Shaq telling, at the end of the day, what's going to end up happening is one of them is going to end up leaving. I don't know if it's going to be Shaq, it's going to be Kenny, it's one of them, because
Charles said he only got 2 years left. He said, my contract says 7. Charles Barkley, he said, I got 7 years left on my contract, but I'll be doing good if I make it to 2.
Right, because that's what I'm saying. That back and forth with them, ESPN is a family network, even though, right, they don't want that. They don't want that. If that was the case, Shannon would be back.
Shannon ain't
coming back. Shannon ain't coming back. If you're going to bring Shannon back, you got to bring Michael Irvin back.
Michael Irvin got a job. Shannon still
What's Michael Irvin job? Standing on the side of the University of Miami football game?
He at Fox.
Okay. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're not bringing Shannon back, and they're not bringing him back.
All right. Well, let's go jump in on one quick question. One quick question. All right. Our one quick question today is, what's the better sports movie? We're going to do a series of sports movies over the next couple of weeks. He Got Game or Coach Carter? Which one was better? I try to put sports movies that's kind of close in range together. High School.
Who was better?
Coming of Age. Which one is a better movie? He Got Game or Coach Carter?
He Got Game. And the reason I say that is because even though his father didn't mean to kill his mother on purpose, at the end of the day, he forgave his father.
Okay. All right.
That's saying true story. That same story played out with me right here. Me and my old man, God rest his soul, I was about 12. We went down to Belle Isle. We played one-on-one. He beat me 10-6, 10-7. I was mad the whole ride home. I said, okay, we going to play again a couple of years. So fast forward, my freshman year in Kansas, I come home for spring break. I say, you want to play one-on-one? He said, nah, we'll play when you come home for the summer. We go back. We play at a park. It's a park off of Jefferson. The people were out there watching, father and son. I beat him 10-0.
So, okay, hold on. I don't doubt that, but here's the real story. How much junk was you talking the entire time?
Man, you know what? My old man was a cop for 30 years. He could have shot me and dumped me in the river. Y'all never would have found. What? How much stuff did I talk? Oh, my God. Man, I talked from the time it was game all the way home. I'm like, yeah, okay, you won, but I beat you. I say, you did, but you didn't score nothing. You lost 10-0. Man, I did everything. Man, I took him inside, outside. shot threes. Mind you, I just came home from playing the thing on the what do you call that? The little intramural thing that they had through their dorm. We just had won the championship. My team, that intramural team I played on, God, we was loaded. I'm playing with college football. I played with Jose Friday. He went to Chassis. I played with Greg McBurrows. He went to King. I'm sitting true story. I'm sitting on the sideline like, how am I going to get on the field? Isaac Bird, God, he was like, you know what, Phil, go ahead, man. You can have my spot. That's the only way I touched the floor because they were just coming off of football. They were getting ready for football. He was like, Phil, you can go ahead and have my spot. That's the only way I touched the score. Right. Man, we was murdering everybody. So I come home, I'm hyped off of that. I'm like, man, I'm about to murder this man. 10-0. It was like 7-0. The little young cat that was watching was like, that's game. He was like, hey, sir, that's game. I'm like, I know. He want to play the 10. Right. We going to play the 10. Yeah. 10-0.
We'll play it out. Okay.
10-0.
All right, when I'm thinking about it, next week is Father's Day weekend. We're going to have Father's Day tribute. That's going to be one of our segments, probably the first segment. Anybody want to come on and give a tribute to your dad, we're going to make sure we do that. We're going to give our tributes to our fathers. So make sure that's what we're going to do for next week moving forward. Going into that, I'm glad you said that. Help me remember that was the plan for next week. All right, y'all. That's pretty much the show right here. That's everything. We a little bit over on time. It's 11:05, 12:05, 11:05 Central, 12:05 Eastern. Thank y'all for coming out on the Instagram side. We got Rena, Tisha Boo, Zanshell, One Sexy Red, Empress Renee, Glendon. Thank you, sir. Mr. Glendon Palmer from the great state of South Carolina, one of the greatest guys you ever want to meet, doing great things out there in the world of Hollywood. Good to see you, Mr. Glendon. Thanks for coming out and supporting us. I'm going to go ahead and put our QR code up so you can join our Sports Talk group on Facebook. As a matter of fact, I'll put the Sports Talk hoodie up. You want to get a hoodie with our faces on? Look at that. Look at them handsome men. Look at them guys. Look at them guys. We got our banners behind us. We put that on the hoodie. Get you some merch. Get you some Sports Talk merch. Go on, take care of that. And a little bit later, I'm gonna put up the QR code to join our group on Facebook. And of course, I always got to put the music on. We're gonna get out here and get ready for the rest of our day. Everybody, be safe out there. Stay warm. If it's cold where you at, stay cool if it's hot where you at. Thank you, Mr. Felix. We'll be back June 14, 2025. Same back time, same back channel, so we can be what? The soul train of this generation. Sports Talk with Kamau Felix. See you then, sir. Be safe.